Right now on KGW News at noon, a new video shows the moment a truck hit a local Vancouver business just a few months after it opened, sending the driver to the hospital. Plus, Portland leaders asked how residents feel about their city. We have a look at what concerns top the list and what Portlanders loved the most. And later.
I mean, it seems like, it's extortion. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
A group of Portland businesses are working together to push back against what they're calling a sophisticated racketeering scheme that leveraged the Americans with Disabilities Act. Your News at Noon starts right now. Thank you for joining us here on the News at Noon. I'm China Green. We begin with an update on a fatal multi-car crash in Beaverton. This happened near the intersection of Southwest Farmington Road and 192nd Avenue at around 1:30 this morning. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says they got there and found 3 vehicles involved and 1 man dead. Investigators say 62-year-old Renee Jones of Forest Grove was killed. They say Jones was traveling west on Farmington when he left his lane, crashed head-on into a Nissan traveling the opposite direction. The driver of the Nissan was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, and the people in the third car were not injured. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And we are learning more about a crash in downtown Vancouver yesterday morning that sent 1 person to the hospital, including surveillance video showing the moment the truck hit the building. So take a look here. It happens in just seconds as a truck barrels down the sidewalk on Main Street, sideswiping a brewery and causing major damage there. Vancouver police say officers found the driver lying in the road about 15 feet from his truck. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries.
First off, hoping that the person survived, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But also, we've only been home for 2 months, so it's like our baby. So initially, it was gosh, why, But we're resilient.
Vancouver police say the driver was not impaired, but uninsured and driving with a suspended license. It's unclear if he'll face any charges. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies recovered a body from the Willamette near Sauvie Island after someone spotted it floating in the river. The medical examiner is now working to identify the person and to try to determine a cause of death here. Sheriff's deputies did say this is not the missing kayaker who went over Willamette Falls. He still has not been found. And police in Hood River have a 3rd person of interest in custody in an investigation into a recent homicide. Yesterday, police arrested 31-year-old Jonathan Matthews after they put an alert on Facebook asking for the public's help to find him. According to court documents, Matthews and 2 other people stole a bike from 38-year-old Stephen Hayes, then ran over him with a truck as they tried to get away. This happened last Friday on 5th and June Street. There's a GoFundMe set up to help Hayes' family. You can find a link to that fundraiser in the online version of the story at KGW.com. We are taking a quick break from our headlines this afternoon and take a peek outside from our Chehalem tasting room. Sky cam. Sun is out. Sky is blue. Let's bring in meteorologist Rod Hill with a look at the forecast.
There's nothing for me to do. You ruined my moment. Sunny, blue. We have another great day out there. We have been watching the low cloud patterns along the coast. Still overcast skies being reported at the airport up in Astoria. You're looking at the view from the Astoria column, looking down over the Astoria-Meckler Bridge. But imagery shows these clouds are starting to thin, the low cloud deck, and will eventually, I should say, push out to sea. Temperature on what's been mainly a cloudy morning, 54. We had clouds and even some mist earlier today in Lincoln City, but you can see that has cleared out nicely with the low cloud deck pushing out to sea, 52. And China shows you that beautiful view from Sherwood. Here's the state capitol from our Salem live camera, 59 degrees and clear, beautiful blue skies in Portland. Certainly cooler. Remember, there's a cooler batch of air dropping in for today. I mean, we've been low, mid 60s at noon, and today we're at 57. I do believe we're on track to get up to my forecast high of 69. Wind direction is north-northwest. Should be a nice afternoon, China.
Thank you, Rod. Here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. The Trump administration announced today that it is suing the Maine Department of Education. This morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi said that the state's policy allowing transgender athletes to compete in women's sports is discriminating against women by failing to protect women in what she says is a violation of Title IX. Bondi said, quote, "This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety." Law enforcement officials in Dallas, Texas are sharing new details of an alleged mass shooting at Dallas High School yesterday that injured at least 4 students. They say based on surveillance video, an unidentified student let the suspected gunman into the school through an unsecured door, after which the suspect allegedly opened fire. Authorities say they have the 17-year-old in custody after turning himself in. It's still not clear what led up to yesterday's shooting. And those are a look at your national headlines. We have new video and insight into the hours-long standoff that locked down parts of northwest Portland Monday night. The suspect in the standoff is accused of pepper spraying police and threatening them with a knife. Yesterday, police explained why they decided to leave the scene without making an arrest. KGW's Catherine Cook has more.
And this is where he pepper sprayed the police.
Sarah Craig is trying to make sense of what happened here Monday night. Cell phone video shows the standoff between this man and police on Northwest 21st and Hoyt. Police fired less lethal rounds, hitting the man and shattering a bus shelter. Police say it started when they tried to arrest the man for felony ID theft out of Clackamas County. Instead of cooperating, they say he pepper sprayed one officer.
It is a really tense time right now.
More cell phone video shows the man running towards several restaurants, sending frightened diners indoors. Police locked down the neighborhood, and for the next 3 hours, members of the crisis negotiation team tried to de-escalate the situation, knowing the man was armed with 2 knives.
In this case, we had to weigh all the things that were going on, including the potential to injure the subject himself, the potential to injure officers.
Portland Police Commander Brian Hughes says those factors led uniformed officers to eventually leave the scene with plans to arrest the man at a later time. He says plainclothes officers in unmarked cars stayed behind to make sure the man wasn't a threat. Police Chief Bob Day added this.
Much of where policing lies is in the gray. A lot of challenges, a lot of nuances, a lot of opportunity for that discretion. If you play that out the other way and we have to use lethal force, that has huge impact on the community as well.
Some neighbors are still frustrated with how it unfolded.
I was really disappointed with the police response yesterday. I feel like they're supposed to keep us safe, and I feel less safe now that they escalated the situation. They shot out a bus stop, and the person's still living around the corner from us.
Tuesday evening, we saw the suspect in this tent nearby. As he moves on with his week, businesses try to do the same.
It was just kind of strange and wild.
Scott Rivera owns Scotty's Pizza Parlor, where the suspect hid behind a picnic table for much of the standoff. He and his team are trying to rally the community for Pizza Week in Portland, one of their biggest events of the year.
Odd start to the week, and we're hoping that folks will still come out and enjoy the pizza with us and just recognize we have great weather, great neighborhood, and it's safe here.
Back at the shattered bus stop, Sarah Craig offers a final take, shared by so many.
There's just no perfect answer for this kind of scenario.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
The city of Portland just released an annual survey on how residents feel about the city. More than 4,000 people took part. Topping the list for what people loved, parks and natural areas. As for concerns, no surprise here, 85% of those surveyed said homelessness was still the greatest challenge facing Portland. 73% of people then pointed to the cost of living.
A lot of people aren't making enough money to pay their rent or buy a house, and I think that needs to change.
This seems to also be a sanctuary for homeless people, so I think that that's something that needs to be addressed.
I love that currently we have all of these parks and playgrounds.
The city is also using the results as a tool to decide which programs to keep and which ones to cut. This as they try to fill a $93 million budget gap. Our team on the story spoke to the city leaders on this. You can watch their full report now on our TV app, KGW+.